5 seconds to go. Start. It is an honor for me to be with you all and take part in a conference organized to celebrate Constitution Day. As the saying goes, well begun is half done. I am happy to learn that in two separate working sessions held here today, various issues have been taken up in right earnest to streamline the justice delivery system. The first session on technology and access to justice, a vision for the future, took up the issues related to the cost, speed, and accessibility of justice. Similarly, the second session, I am told, rightly focused on 75 years of independence, constitutional perspective, and vision. The discussions would certainly have devised means to bring the society more in tune with the constitutional ideals for a better future. As we are celebrating the 75th year of independence as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, such deliberations on holding fast to constitutional norms and values are an ongoing project. But my mind goes back to the time when stalwarts of the freedom struggle got together to prepare this document. On the Constituent Assembly's first day of business, it was one of my illustrious predecessors and renowned philosopher, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, who explained the context of the drafting of a constitution for India. Also, on a practical note, he added, it is essential for any constitution which is drawn up to make all the citizens realize that their basic privileges, education, social, and economic, are afforded to them, that there will be cultural autonomy, that nobody will be suppressed, that it will be a constitution which will be democratic in the true sense of the term, where from political freedom we will march on to economic freedom and equity. Every individual should feel that he is proud to belong to this great, and 3 eventful years later, they did build an incomparable foundation that rested on democratic principles and values inspired by our great traditions. The ideals we set for ourselves formed a tall order. The Constitution is the roadmap of our collective journey. At the core of it are justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. In this forum, let us explore what it has to say about justice. In the very few and carefully chosen words, the preamble expands the notion of justice to include its social, economic, and political aspects. That is what the Constitution wants us to secure for all citizens of India. How far have we succeeded when compared to this ideal? Justice is the critical fulcrum around which democracy revolves. It gets further strengthened if the three institutions of the state, the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, are in a harmonious existence. In the Constitution, each institution has its defined space within which it functions. Except for a brief phase of aberration, the journey of our republic has been glorious. Even during that phase, I vividly recall the comment of noted jurist Nani Palkhiwala, who famously spoke of a few thousand square feet where a man may speak freely. He was obviously alluding to the courtrooms of India where freedom of expression is guaranteed. It is indeed a creditable achievement that people repose faith in the judiciary, and the Indian judiciary must be complimented for this well earned achievement. As a former member of the bar, I always regarded it as a privilege to serve the cause of justice in my capacity as a lawyer. From this vantage position, I am also acutely conscious of obstacles in the path of justice delivery. In Indian tradition, judges are imagined as a model of rectitude and detachment more akin to sthit pragya. We have a rich history of legends of such judges known for their utterances full of sagacity and conduct beyond reproach, which have become hallmarks for the future generations. I am happy to note that the Indian judiciary has been adhering to those highest standards. There is no doubt that you have set for yourself a high bar. Hence, it is also incumbent upon the judges to exercise utmost discretion in their utterances in the courtrooms. Indiscreet remarks, even if made with good intention, give space for dubious interpretations to run down the judiciary. Let me recount a profound observation of Justice Frankfurter of the US Supreme Court in the Dennis versus United States case of 1951. He said, and I quote, "Courts are not representative bodies. They are not designed to be a good reflex of a democratic society. Their essential quality is detachment founded on independence. History teaches that the independence of the judiciary is jeopardized when courts become embroiled in the passions of the day and assume primary responsibility in choosing between competing political, economic, and social pressure. At the risk of repeating myself, I would like to once again point to the cost of justice. In a developing country like ours, a very small section of the citizens can afford to knock on the doors of the court of justice. From lower courts to the Supreme Court, it becomes increasingly difficult for an average citizen to seek redressal of grievances. Fortunately, there are, of course, individuals and also institutions that offer pro bono services. The Supreme Court, too, has taken praiseworthy steps in this direction. I wish to see increased access to legal aid and advisory services for all. It can take the form of a movement or the form of a better institutionalized mechanism. The other obstacle is the long pendency of cases. All stakeholders appreciate the enormity of this challenge and its implications. I know much has been written about it and pertinent suggestions have been made to address the issue. Yet the debate continues and the pendency keeps increasing too. Ultimately, the citizens and organizations that have grievances bear the brunt. What can be done to quicken the pace of justice? The obvious answer is reform. but reform is an umbrella term under which different stakeholders wish to see different things. The suggestions and attempts so far show that the steps required for the purpose need to be broad based to evolve a consensus about the reforms. The issue of pendency has ramifications for economic growth and development too. It is high time all stakeholders find a way out by keeping national interest above all. Technology can be a great ally in this process. The Supreme Court has taken numerous initiatives in this regard. The pandemic has hastened the adoption of information and communication technology in the domain of the judiciary. Stop.